So midday service is over now. We're like, all right, let's make this alliance happen, y'all. So our teams are getting together to meet, right? Because now we're allies and we need to get to know each other. This is actually where I meet my biological big brother, Hunter, like as mentioned earlier in the video. So we're meeting in the White Wings ditch, and we're going over strategies and stuff on how we can annihilate and destroy the Assassin's Creed. When Butt Munch King Nathaniel comes running through my territory and steals my purse. You don't steal a woman's purse, man. This happens approximately 4 times. So we're trying to figure out, I mean, our location wasn't exactly a secret, but how he always knew when to come and steal my purse.
And that's when it dawns on me. Where is Hayden?
So you see, Hayden was struggling with girls playing more than we realized. Because we find out that Hayden has declared himself an Assassin's Creed. Dun dun dun! None of us were too happy about that. However, this is when I first start to get to meet Hunter. Something I didn't see coming was the Romeo and Juliet subplot. One of my OG White Wings officers developed a crush on the Assassin's Creed officer. And just like that, a flurry of crush crap hit the ceiling fan. I'm dreaming of being this great leader who crushes the opposite team. My friend develops a crush on the opposite team. Why, Spider-Man? Where did I go wrong? True Romeo and Juliet style. Once in a while, I'm wondering, hey, where's my friend go? She's kind of important. Where'd she go? And apparently Nathaniel is wondering the same thing. So I discover them sitting on the top of the swing set jungle gym, him serenading her from the bottom and bringing her berry smoothies. Half of me is like, dang girl, you got some game. You're only 6 years old. And the other half of me was like, dang girl, you're only 6 years old. Team leader, helpless romantic. Team leader, helpless romantic. Team leader, helpless romantic. So once Romeo and Juliet slowed down a little bit, we got back to the important part, slaying the Assassin's Creed. So after me and Chandler became co-team leaders, because we just kind of merged into one team. We never renamed it, but we just did. And so we were dominating at twice the speed we both were earlier, because we'd like doubled in size and many hands make light work. However, what was beginning to happen was the other boys were claiming they had a regeneration factor. And no, I don't mean by like getting back to home base. This is what it looked like. Yeah. Stab! You're dead now!
No, I'm not. I can regenerate. Stab, 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 stab.
You see, I grew up with Carmen, and like I've talked about how we spent every day like living together pretty much. Well, we played Peter Pan consistently for 2 years. Every day for 2 years, and because my hair grows super slow, I was Peter Pan for all those years. So naturally, me and Carmen were very, very good at sword fighting with sticks because that was what we had. So I'd spent my entire childhood doing this. So it's fair to say I had a leg up. And unfortunately, because of said leg up, I would get into a flow. And it would be 10-year-old masterpieces with stick swords. Some of the other kids were less inspired. And by less inspired, I mean more likely to get whacked. So my mom informed me that if I accidentally, legit whack, accidentally, another child my age, I will be pulled from the battlefield. I was pulled from active combat. Because I wasn't really ready to be done with active combat, I spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to jury rig a bow. I gave up that pretty quick. But I did become the strategist. Probably the most memorable thing I did as a strategist was convince Nathaniel to show us where his fort was hidden, because we'd been looking for like 2 days at that point. Still hadn't found it but much. But, however, there were a couple conditions. One, we had to agree to go peaceably. Obviously, check. That's fine. Two, I was only allowed to bring me and Amelia, which was Nathaniel's sister. Check. And we had to be blindfolded, which meant that they threw their dirty, kind of smelly zip-up hoodie over my head. So I thought in all my youth-like brilliance that I'd be able to figure out the distance while being blindfolded. I was wrong. Funny enough, because I was blindfolded, I needed someone to guide me, so I ended up holding Nathaniel's hand for a good deal of the way. I'm surprised he didn't take advantage of that, like, make me smack into a tree or something, because I can totally see him doing that. But all of a sudden, the whole party stops, so I can hear a bunch of snickering. Next thing I know, a stick is getting shoved in my hand that I'm using like a leash, because apparently I'm contagious. So Angela ended up following, and the little turd apparently knew the whole time where they were at and didn't feel the need to tell her sister where they were at when I'd been searching. So she got to skip the dirty, smelly jacket. So we're led there. I think it's a lot closer than it actually is. We get to the front gate of their fort, and to be honest, their fort was pretty lit. Like, they actually had a really good setup going on. I get to the front gate, and I look up, and there's a giant. James. He's already 6'4" or something, and he's only 16. And he's this big dude. He's really strong, really, really large man already, and he's 16. You see, you have to understand, there were actually more teams than just the White Wings, the Spiral Knights, and the Assassin's Creed. Those were just the head teams. There was mercenary teams, there was rogue players that just kind of did their own thing. Well, the mercenaries were usually the really big, strong dudes. Such was the case with James. And James was known as the Troll King. So because Troll King and Nathaniel, well, I was actually from that same church as well, were from the same church, he kind of was doing a pro bono or something. I don't know what the deal was, but he was their guard. No one's going to get past James. Correction, one person could get past the Troll King. My 8-year-old little crazy sister. So my psychopath, mercenary, little 8-year-old sister walks up to Troll King, who is approximately 6'4". She's 4'5", and kicks him square in the balls. The only problem was she overestimated her leg length. So, yes, she made contact, but just enough that her boot left a print on his hoo-ha area, but did him no harm. So this big lumbering dude just kind of stops, squares his feet, blinks a couple times, and looks down. Very puzzled. And then she booked it like a bat out of Hades. In all the commotion, me and Amelia decided to leave. We'd already seen the fort at that point, and we had a feeling that we were going to be taken prisoner. So during all the commotion that my younger sister had caused by becoming the Troll King Slayer, and that was how she was known, we made our grand escape, laughing because my little sister kicked the Troll King in the balls. After that, there wasn't really any more direct combat. It was just kind of you came across a party of 3 to 5 while you were out patrolling, and you fought a little bit, squabbled over if you can really regenerate on the spot while the stick is still embedded in you. And then we went to service and ate food. So once the 3 days had finished, everyone was getting ready to go back to their hometowns. So there was not really any main central victor. It was more these teams all just kind of grew and got stronger. So next year, I still wasn't quite old enough to go to youth camp yet. So I'm all excited to take part in Stick Wars again. And Stick Wars kind of died. That was kind of the last year of Stick Wars. And Stick Wars had been going on for about 7 years at this point, which I found out later. I guess I kind of murdered it, didn't I? Anyways, it was replaced with Nerf War, and then later when we actually had money because we had jobs, it became Airsoft War, and there's a lot of stories I can tell you about that, but that's another topic for another video. Oh, and as for Romeo and Juliet, yeah, their relationship died with Stick Wars. It was laid to rest. RIP. So when the time came that we actually were both old enough to go to youth camp, he introduced me to our group. And it was then that I met all these amazing people, and I found a second family. So the moral of the story is, if you're ever given an opportunity to play a role in a game that's sole purpose is stabbing and bashing with a stick, take it. You could find not 1, not 2, but 7 lifelong friends, just like I did. Anyway, see you in the next video. Leave a like, leave a comment. It would make my day. Reese's Pieces.